Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. For me, it's a very special occasion. I'm coming here after a long absence. But also, I always get invited for this function as the most senior chartered shipper. I remember I qualified in 1960s, but Chairman now tells me that it was 62. With me, there was another gentleman, but he's not a Sri Lankan, he was Indian. So, I must also say that whenever I come here, I took great pride because I realized the value of shipping, and that was the reason why I took to shipping. Well, it took a long time for the ICS to establish itself, but Mr. Chairman, in your speech, you mentioned about those people who contributed to make this a success. I remember and recollect the great growth that you had, and that was due to the efforts, commitment, dedication of the past office bearers. Some of the names were mentioned by you. And I'd like to once again remember them and respect them for that commitment. It's very exceptional show of solidarity that showed. And Colombo branch is also, as you know, have been rated as one of the best in the world. This is something you can be proud of, and I still keep in touch with some of the senior members of ICS London, and they also talk very highly of the achievements and the services rendered by your institute to the shipping industry. While being seated here, I was sending my memory back to the my career in shipping. Although I selected shipping as a subject, I had a very short period in shipping. Fortunately, unfortunately, but I thought it's fortunately because of time, a Danish company. Now I remember for me to, at that time, to get apprenticeship, we had to work in a shipping company. I worked with Barber firm, no longer in existence. Scandinavian joint service, no longer in existence. But after that, on qualification, after when I got my charter, I was offered the post of the shipping manager. Very short period. Within after a few months, my boss was a Dane. He called me to his room and said, "You work for a trading company and not a shipping company." And he said, "The traders are born, but managers you can make." So therefore, I think, and my advice is to move to the trading department. So I took his advice, and that's the right advice. Although it was very painful for me to leave the shipping, because they go down a young Dane to run the shipping department. But I moved over to the trading department, and that took me to great heights. Eventually, I headed that company. One thing is, I lost company with chartered shipbrokers. But of course, the company happened to be the Sri Lanka's largest single exporter, responsible over 5% of the total exports. So therefore, I was still able to contribute to the shipping industry by giving cargo in big numbers. Because that was the time where Sri Lanka traded a lot with, not only with the West, but also with the East European bloc. So they are going on chartering, but still, I remember very large volume of goods moved out from Sri Lanka. So therefore, my connection to the shipping industry was short-lived. And also, I left the private sector in 1992 to take up the diplomatic appointment, which I did only for half my term on understanding. On my return, I had to go into politics to become the mayor. So therefore, Mr. Chairman, there is very little advice that I can give you today from here about the shipping industry. But however, talking about the shipping industry, let me say that Sri Lanka, historically, is a maritime nation. King Parakrambau had hundreds of ships which he used to export rice to Far East. And also, during the time of the ancient kings, Sri Lanka was a trading hub, and that was how a lot of foreign traders came here, Arabs and others, followed by Portuguese, Dutch, English, and Napoleon had a very unsuccessful attempt. So the situation is no different today. You know that all superpowers are looking at us. Colombo is a very important destination. And also I also note from the media that Colombo port has achieved 90% capacity. That's quite a very exceptional achievement as a Sri Lankan and very happy about it. Let me also take this opportunity to thank all of them for making the shipping industry to this level today, a lot of countries. But looking at the future, that's all I can say. I'm not an expert. We have a professor here who can talk about it. But looking at the future, ladies and gentlemen, I see Sri Lanka has tremendous potential to become a logistic hub. We have a fantastic location. It is said that when the God created the world, He placed Sri Lanka in the most ideal location geographically. And that is the reason why we still get a lot of attention. And also we sit at the foot of the second most popular market in the world in terms of consumer as well as producer. And we should not just focus on transshipment, but become a cargo hub where we provide the full gamut of cargo services, including loose cargo, air cargo, LCL consolidation, warehousing, supply chain management, value addition, redistribution, and related services. To achieve such a status, we must have stability, discipline, and international recognition. I use the word international recognition, which is also very important. Our shipping industry is very fortunate that we have world-class management and a team of young executives. These young men and women are being trained eventually to become top managers. I also recall the time at the initial stages that ICS Colombo decided to start classes, which became a model for many of the branches in the world. And that is how Sri Lanka got this rating at the best managed branch, and I still believe you still hold that recognition. I must also congratulate these young people who are qualified, and I see two young ladies have achieved two world-class awards. I think all of us must congratulate the two of them for that achievement, and I must say that we are very, very proud of them. So I think looking to the future, Sri Lanka has produced enormous amount of top management where they can take to high positions in the shipping world, and a lot of them have taken some position all over the world. I have met some of them. So therefore, I must congratulate the management of the ICS for their hard work, commitment, and service to the shipping industry. So these are the very few comments that I can make, because for 29 years I was out of the shipping world and the business. Then finally, the chairman mentioned about our motto, our word, our body, various classifications. In my view, ladies and gentlemen, this fits into two categories of people in the world. The first category is you, the chartered shipbrokers, because you honor your body, you honor your work. The second category is the parliamentarians all over the world, because they make all promises before the elections, but some of them are not fulfilled. So, when I left the private sector, when I left politics, as a chartership broker, I get the mental satisfaction that I satisfied both. I honored my obligation, I honored the motto of the chartership brokers, both in terms of shipping and both in terms of politics.